SCP-003. SCP-003 was located by Remote Viewing Team SRV-04 Beta. SCP-003 consists of two related components of separate origin, referred to as SCP-003-1 and SCP-003-2. SCP-00-1 appears to be composed of chitin, hair, and nails of unknown biology similar to Redacted, arranged in a configuration similar to that of a computer motherboard. Testing reveals SCP-003-1 to predate earliest known circuit boards by Redacted. SCP-003-1 is considered sentient, but not actively dangerous except under certain conditions. SCP-003-1 was found on a stone tablet, SCP-003-2, on which it currently resides. The runes on SCP-003-2 are not part of any known language and flicker with pale tones. These are the effects of communication, interpretable by data expunged. Analysis has shown that SCP-003-1 and SCP-003-2 have different origins. SCP-003-2 is controlled by a non-biological internal computer, the contents of which are mostly inaccessible without risk of damaging SCP-002. SCP-003-2 is capable of controlled emissions of radiation, including heat and Redacted. It is considered probable that SCP-003-2 was created for the purpose of containing SCP-003-1. Methods detailed in the Addendum 003-01 have allowed access to some data containing SCP-003-2. While interpretation is not conclusive, contents may refer to past and/or potential future class restructuring caused by SCP-003-1. SCP-003-2 contains an internal power source of data expunge, which appears to have been losing power since blank before discovered by SRV-04 Beta. It appears possible that SRV-04 Beta was deliberately contacted SCP-003-2 via data expunge. Other organizations have also been alerted to SCP-003's existence, possibly by similar means. Despite this activity, SCP-003-2 does not appear to be sentient, based on Redacted and its lack of reaction to Redacted, including M03 Gloria procedures. An SCP drops below the temperature of 35 degrees, both components react. First, SCP-003-1 enters a growth state, characterized by an exponential increase in mass. This growth state consists of two states. In both stages, SCP-003-1 partially fuels its growth by converting matter around it, starting with any surrounding inorganic material, including atmospheric elements, then non-living organic material, including cells of dead skin, hair, chin, enamel, keratin, and other biological materials. The first stage is the default stage. The second stage begins when SCP-003-1 comes in contact with living organism materials. In the second stage, SCP-003-1 may pause, slow, or change its growth. This will also repossess inorganic and non-living organic elements into functional similar structures while not expunged. While growth is consistent in the first stage, in the second stage, SCP-003-1's growth rate is diminished by 20 to 90%, so long as SCP-003-1 remains in contact with living organic material. The percentage is determined by the complexity of the organisms in contact with SCP-003-1. As confirmed by Redacted readings, SCP-003-1 appears to devote a large amount of processing power to analysis of living organic material. During each of SCP-003-1's growth stages, SCP-003-2 releases bursts of radiation that temporarily inhibit SCP-003-1's growth, or reverse this growth when the temperature of SCP-003 rises above the 100 degrees Celsius. Similar radiation emissions may be produced via data expunge. Addendum 003-01. Acting on information gathered from linguistic analysts of SCP-003-2 runes and data expunge, research team N03 Gloria has managed to establish a link between SCP-003 and data expunged for analysis of functions. SCP-003-1 must now be considered sentient. It is to be kept a minimum of 1 kilometer from data expunge, and the resulting byproduct at all time. Addendum 003-02. SCP-003-2's power loss has been exacerbated by procedures performed by M03 Gloria. On orders of O5 blank, M03 Gloria will continue procedures. At Addendum 003-03. Data expunge. During this process, SCP-003-1 doubled its mass and began rapid structural growth. Temperatures immediately returned to 100 Celsius. Growth and mass increase of SCP-003-1 continued for 9 minutes and 6 seconds, at which time a sustained radiation spike was produced by SCP-003-2. In response, SCP-003-1 returned its normal state in 3 minutes and 39 seconds. New growth dissolved into a rusty residue which is collected for analysis. Both SCP-003-1 and SCP-003-2 ceased all detectable activity. SCP-003-2 did not resume activity until connected to redacted external power source. SCP-003-2's runes glowed uniformly gray and did not resume normal activity for 3 hours, and afterwards, data expunged. SCP-003-2 no longer appears to be able to maintain containment area at a temperature above 35 degrees Celsius, without external power supplied by redacted. The proceed Addendum 003-04. The procedure detailed in Addendum 003-03 was repeated, and SCP-003 again entered a growth state. After 10 minutes and 13 seconds, SCP-003-2 once again produced a sustained radiation spike. SCP-003-1's growth stopped for 36 seconds, then resumed at its previous pace. On quadrupling its mass, SCP-003-1 formed a coherent outer shell and body, which initially took the shape of an opheroid, brittle style of 15 meters in diameter, including what appeared to be a central processor of 3 meters in diameter, formed sensory organs that appeared to scan the surrounding environment and partially converted its containment area to redacted. SCP-003-1 then breached containment, entering the observation gallery where 9 members of M03 Gloria were present. On physical contact with team members, SCP-003 entered Stage 2 of its growth, and data expunged. SCP-003-1 stopped growth for 15 minutes. SCP-003-1 then resumed growth and rearranged component parts of the center of its form to shape of a 3-meter-tall female humanoid, with peripheral tentacles shifting to extrude primarily from SCP-003-1's newly formed hair and spine. SCP-003-1 then produced rudimentary vocalizations and data expunge. An unknown person, later identified as Redacted, approached the compromised containment area and accompanied a full squad of agents. Redacted claimed to be acting on orders of O5 blank in attempted communication with SCP-003-1. Data expunge agent blank of M03 Gloria successfully restored power to SCP-003-2 and activated backup generators to return temperature to 100 Celsius. SCP-003-1 to return to its normal state in 21 minutes and 7 seconds. And successfully recontained without incident. All nine members of M03 Gloria affected by SCP-003-9 were afterwards found to be physically unharmed, with no residual effects besides mild psychological trauma. The converted materials of SCP-003's former containment area did not dissolve and now under analysis. Addendum 003-05. In light of the previous incident, O5 blank data expunged by joint decision of O5 blank and O5 blank and O5 blank, all M03 Glorious procedures have been indefinitely suspended. Special containment procedures. SCP-003 is to be maintained at a constant temperature of no less than 35 Celsius and ideally kept above 100 Celsius. In event of total power failure, assigned personnel must use their body heat to keep SCP-003-1 above the critical level. All personnel have come in physical contact with SCP-003-1 are to immediately report for sterilization afterwards. Thank you everyone for listening to this. I am sorry for being inactive. It's just I really did not like this one. This is just one of the ones that didn't. It didn't really seem that important or kind of interesting. It was a bit of a problem to read, but anyway, thank you for listening or watching. That, yeah, if you want to read it, it's in the description. And yeah, thanks.